I love when people suffer. Hello, and welcome to Bingo. When a piece of media that I enjoy is coming out, I like to make a bingo sheet. The dark side of Barbie. We are bingoing. My free space is major character death. Tamsin Moore is not afraid to unalive people. I think it's pretty expected at this point, and I think in a final book, we might get a clean sweep. Someone's dying, for sure. Easy pick, free space. Prom dresses. I want someone to force Harrow into an 80s prom dress, much like she was forced into the little mini dress by Ianthe. There are some other things I'm going to put on the board that I will link up to my prom dress point. I think they could go together, but at the moment, for the vibes, there's no way I'm getting this. I want Harrow and Gideon to smooch. I want them to really kiss. For real. I don't want Alecto possessing Harrow's body to kiss sort of dead, alive now Gideon, who goes by Kiriona. I want Gideon and Harrow to smooch about it. I want it to be sort of terrible. They don't have the best track record with kissing. I want it to be really terrible, really awkward, but like really passionate. I mean, that one might happen. Multi-POV. All of the books have been multi-POV to some extent, but I think we're going to get full-on like third-person limited from Gideon and Harrow. Please, babies, come home. This is sort of my flip side bingo to this one. The whole book is told like the ending of Alecto the Ninth. The whole book is early modern replica speech. I don't think I'd survive this. I enjoyed the little snippet at the end of Alecto. I'd be fine with alternating between Harrow and Gideon and then like a little bit of Alecto doing early modern drama. That's fine, but like please not the whole book. I don't want to read that. If that's why this book is taking so long, Tamsin. Erotic face paint application. We are going to be face paintless for most of this book. Some sort of important scene in which they both need to wear face paint, and there's going to be that picture of that girl on top of the other girl applying makeup style face paint application. Gideon's going to pretend to be reluctant about it. Harrow, I don't want to wear the stupid skull. F the ninth house. And Harrow's going to be like, you're going to wear it. And then Gideon will be like, fine, but you're going to have to put it on me. And that's going to be what happens. Don't judge the differences in my skulls. Did you have to sit here and cut out skulls and then draw little faces on them? No. Did I have to? Probably not. Someone gives Gideon ice cream. I want Gideon to eat ice cream. Gideon needs ice cream. Gideon deserves ice cream. I don't think Gideon's ever had ice cream. I mean, maybe she has at this point, having like been hanging out with God and Ianthe. But considering Gideon and Gideon the Ninth didn't know what a salad was and didn't know what a fish was, ice cream would blow her mind and she just needs some. I want Jod to take her for ice cream, like really awkward style. Little father-daughter outing, talking to her about his affairs. She's just eating the ice cream, not listening. Child taste in ice cream. Gideon Nav is ordering bubblegum ice cream. This is the worst skull. The orbitals. My biological anthropology professor would be so ashamed of me. Something that I really enjoy about these books, as I've established, is the fun structure. And I've been trying to think of what Tamsin is going to do in this particular book. And I'm sort of coming up empty. Lazy prediction about this: act and scenes. We already have acts, and there's like the dramatis personae at the start. We might go full on, like instead of act and then chapters, it'll just be act and scenes. This also goes along with the little short story. It was formatted like this. Harrow being forced to go to terrible dinner parties, a trend that I love. I want it to continue. Awkward family dinner with your mom jokes. Because there's no way we can sit Gideon, Pyrrha, and Jod at a table and not have your mom jokes. Pyrrha probably won't be there. Like, I don't think she's going to be sitting at a table with Jod anytime soon. But either Gideon and Pyrrha or Gideon and Jod, we're getting your mom jokes. And I just want Harrow to have to sit through that. I want Harrow to have to be the goth GF forced to go to her girlfriend's Thanksgiving dinner in like rural Saskatchewan. This could also be when the prom dresses come in. Do you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about Chapel Roan in the Naked in Manhattan music video in the turquoise dress. That's what Harrow's wearing. I don't want anyone to die via soup. An awkward family dinner can mean the fam. It can also mean the Canaan House family dinner. I'll take that too. We can also have family dinner in the river with all the dead people. You cannot read them when they're that tiny. This bandaged skull says, another weird scene that's definitely a sex scene, gore galore. This is in reference to Harrow taking off Ianthe's arm and it definitely being a sex scene. If someone theoretically had to heal Gideon, I think this scene could theoretically be incredibly sexually charged. Even more sexually charged than the face paint. Okay, this is like Harrow's deal. Those freaks. Harrow and Ianthe matched each other's freaks in that moment. I think we could surpass the freak. I don't think they're actually gonna bang. I think we're getting weird resurrection shit. I don't want to have to talk about the Jussie, but I think that if we were theoretically to stitch up Gideon's chest wound, sex scene coded, okay? And I'm gonna move on from this one because it's kind of icky. Happily Ever After. I'm gonna cry over this book regardless, but I don't think we're getting Happily Ever After. I don't think this is that kind of series. And these two fucking lesbians are going to be the death of me because there's no way that these bitches are getting a happy ending.
Have you ever been beaten by a wet spaghetti noodle?
They've driven me nuts. They've driven me to making however long this is of a video talking about them.
I love when people suffer. Obviously, I want Harrow and Gideon to move to some beautiful planet with lots of water, lots of green trees, lots of dark, dank rooms for Harrow to study in with Noodle the dog and live happily ever after. Maybe Paul lives down the street.
I do gay stuff.
I want them to listen to music and dance. I've definitely read this fanfic. Alecto Resurrection Beast. We are going to see Alecto join up with the Resurrection Beasts. This has many meanings. I did not explain that point at all. Okay, what I mean by that, I know Alecto in her spirit form shows up to Harrow as Barbie, but I'm curious, because the Resurrection Beasts are kind of fluid, can she take other forms? Everyone knows the truth now. I want to see her full-on Resurrection Beasted. Like, I want to see Alecto talking to, I don't know, Varun or something, when Nona and Judith were screaming at each other. I want to see how that looks when you're not in Alecto's brain. Is it just a bunch of sad sounds? Like, what's going on? Alecto Resurrection Beast. Weird Kiriona Ianthe situationship. They've definitely kissed. There's already no heterosexual explanation for Gideon, period, or Ianthe, period. But whatever the freak those two were getting up to in Nona the Ninth, there is no heterosexual explanation for. When they show up with friendship bracelets to the locked tomb, girls, what was happening on that ship? Whatever was happening was probably weird and freaky. Being the two princes together in their little white suits.
I'm in a little suit like the lesbian I am, you know what I mean? It's probably white.
Doing Jod's bidding. Ianthe's definitely doing it just to piss off Harrow, like just because she can. She's like, Harrow, you didn't want to make out with me. I'm gonna steal your girlfriend. Gideon's probably doing it to hurt Harrow.
Is it easy? No. Do I like it? No, I don't. But do I do it? Yeah, I do.
This is a very lesbian situation.
What the fuck happened to her? She's washed up. That's when my ass swoops in.
I want there to be the, serious things happening, but then there's also this very Willowa friendship. Okay, let's just say Harrow is 19 in Alecto. Ianthe's like 24. Gideon is 21. Loose math. I just think that particular age of women loving women, we're doing some bullshit. Real Housewives of Canaan House drama amongst the queer women. Like, that is what I want going on in the background of all the serious stuff. Not enough teeth monster explanation. Devils, I'm talking about those things on the 9th house and the thing that possessed Column's body, and they possess the person really creepily, and then the person has teeth in their eyeballs and weird tongue and crawls around freaky style. I fear Tamsin is not going to give me an adequate explanation for what the freak is happening there. Noodle lives. I don't think Tamsin Moore would unalive the dog, but Tamsin Moore did unalive the children. I fear for Noodle. I really want to see Gideon interact with a dog. I don't think it's going to be the way we wanted it to, because she's been around Noodle, sort of, and doesn't seem to care or notice. But again, she's dead and she's Kiriona, so Can we please get Gideon petting the dog? I think loving dogs would be very healing for Gideon. She seems like a dog lesbian. Tell Gideon to pet the dog who lives. Finally, I got to cover up the hinge with Jod on the run. I was trying to think of like plot points that I could put on here, or story points, other than just weird details. And it really is difficult because I never really know what's going to happen when I'm going into these books. And that's part of the fun. We could get Jod on the run because we know at the end of Nona, he's been stabbed. I don't think he dies at the end of that. I think it would be funny if he was kind of missing, running around, living off the land, and then having to move every time Alecto gets closer. Alecto leading the resurrection beasts, going after Jod, who is on the run.
Canaan House reunion.
The last time that we saw all of them together was in Harrow. As cheesy as it is, I would like the gang together minus Kilauea. I'd like Dulcinea to actually be there instead. Maybe meet Paul. A little glimpse of them all one last time. That's why I said it could be in the river. That's fine. I'd like to say goodbye, murder mystery dinner party squad. Sorry that so many of you died traumatically. Pyrrha, Aglamene, bros / co-parents. They may co-parent the idiots. I think they would be very bad at it. They are both sort of parental figures to Harrow's body, but like Harrow has really not met Pyrrha. Harrow is actually very traumatized by the body that Pyrrha is in, aka Gideon, but not Gideon of Gideon the Ninth. We know this. And then Aglamene obviously cares about Harrow and Gideon. I need Pyrrha to talk to Gideon some more. All of their interactions have been top tier.
Makeover montage. You might say, Kalia, aren't you sort of kicking a dead horse?
Erotic face paint and prom dresses, and now we have makeover montage. You try making predictions for a Locked Tomb book. We had makeover montage in Harrow. We did not have makeover montage in Gideon, but we did have training montage. We sort of had makeover montage in Nona, but that was more of a, we're going to make you look like a Harrow Harkonnen Jezebus. I don't know who we're making over, but I want one.
Paul the Counselor.
Palamedes and Camilla occupied this role for Gideon and Harrow at different stages. I just think that combined, this is the grief counselor, this is the relationship counselor, all-purpose counselor. Do I think that Paul will enjoy this job? Probably not. Paul seems a little bit fed up with the Gideon Harrow nonsense of it all, seeing straight through the anger and resentment to the real feelings, and the fact that they won't talk to each other about it, and instead just keep swapping bodies about it. It's Paul. I just decided to put a tail on that U. Pale the counselor. And I do deeply miss Palamedes and Camilla individually. Paul is here to stay, and I think we must embrace Paul. That's what they'd want. My skulls are cut off. Big God spaceship shenanigans. Where God first takes Harrow, that spaceship. I want to go back there. We were there for a very short amount of time. I think that Ianthe and Gideon have been there a while. I want something fun to happen on the spaceship. I have another skull coming up in a few skulls, sort of related to this one, but I want the gang to go to the Big God spaceship. Final stand sort of place. I want it to get attacked by heralds. I want the Big God spaceship to blow up. Ianthe and Corona are gonna die. Anyone who made it out of Canaan House is destined for death. I've seen some people speculate that Ianthe and Corona are going to do a Paul and combine into one person. I don't know how the Paul thing really worked, like necromagic style, but I don't know if you can do that if you're already a lictor. That seems like too many people. But I guess then the toxic trio would be reunited if they did combine into one person. They're gonna go out together. They'd like weirdly Romeo and Juliet each other. Okay, yeah. So I already have major character death on here and I put them here. So what? Heist. This heist probably involves Gideon, Harrow, main idiots. Paul would probably plan the heist. Do I think Paul would go on the heist? Camilla would. I don't know Paul well enough to say yet. Pyrrha would probably go with them. They could heist the God spaceship. Pash and Gideon duel, and Harrow is completely normal about it. I don't know if it would be with swords. I don't think it would be with guns because that would be weird, but it would be very yeehaw cowboy. I'm out of tape. Yeah, this is fabulous secret powers. This is what I mean. And I said, hey, yay, yay, yeah, yeah. Hey, yay, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And he tries.
Oh my God, do a try.
And he prays.
Oh my God, do a pray.
Tamsin Moore loves to do a little meme reference. The Locked Tomb universe is so He-Man, She-Ra coded. You could just have the Four Non-Blondes song played. So much potential here. Ianthe would say, "Hey stud." Lol, JK. Has Ianthe not said that yet? If it has happened, I'm a fake fan, and I'm sorry I didn't catch it, or I'm sorry I forgot about it. This is my completed bingo card. Does it look like a ninth house script? Because that was the goal. Where do I think I'm going to get bingo? Easiest one to get bingo is straight down the middle. Multi-POV awkward family dinner with your mom jokes, major character death, Pyrrha, Aglamity bros / co-parents heist. Almost a 2 easy bingo. Oh, I think I could also get one. I think I could get one this way. Erotic face paint, weird gore scene that is actually a sex scene, major character death, Canaan House gang reunited, electric boogaloo in the river, big god spaceship shenanigans. I think we could get that one too.
Are these two normal?
That's the video. Have a great day. Home and